Emma had always believed her marriage to Daniel was strong. They were not loud with love, not dramatic, but steady like a calm river that kept moving forward. They lived in a small town in Vermont where evenings were quiet and neighbors waved kindly. Their life was simple, morning coffee together, long work days, soft good nights. Yet somewhere over the years the warmth had turned into habit. Not cold, just quiet. On one peaceful Sunday evening, as the sky slowly changed color and birds settled into trees, they sat on their wooden porch like they always did. Emma was sipping tea when she noticed Daniel wasn't relaxed. His fingers kept tapping against his knee, his eyes drifting away like he was searching for courage. The air felt different, heavy, but gentle at the same time. Daniel cleared his throat. "Emma, can I ask you something?" His voice was soft but shaky. She smiled lightly. "You can ask me anything." He stared at the sunset for a moment longer, then turned to her. "Do you ever feel like life has become quiet?" Emma paused. She wanted to laugh it off, but something in his tone stopped her. "Quiet isn't bad," she said carefully. "I know," he replied, "but quiet can slowly turn into distance." Those words landed deep in her chest. She hadn't thought about it before, but suddenly memories rushed in. Nights they used to talk for hours, trips they took without planning, laughter that filled rooms. Now most nights ended with phones in their hands and tired eyes closing. Early, Daniel took a breath. "I love you more than anything. But I'm scared we're just surviving together instead of living together." Emma's heart beat faster. She'd felt that same fear, but never spoke it. "Why are you telling me this now?" she asked quietly. "'Cause I don't want to wake up one day and feel like strangers," he said. I want us to feel close. Again, real close." The wind moved through the trees as silence wrapped around them. Emma searched his face, seeing worry, not blame. He wasn't angry. He was afraid of losing her. "We're married," she said softly. "That means we're close." "Yes," he said, "but marriage needs care, not just time." His words were simple but powerful. Emma suddenly realized how often she rushed past moments with him. Quick hugs, rushed dinners, short answers. Life had become a list of tasks instead of shared moments. Daniel swallowed hard. "I want us to try again. Not something wild or wrong, just to open our hearts. To remember why we chose each other." Her eyes burned with emotion. "Are you unhappy with me?" "No," he said quickly. "I'm unhappy with the space growing between us." That truth hit her harder than anger ever could. She stood up and walked a few steps away, looking at the street where children rode bikes and neighbors chatted. Everything around them looked normal, peaceful, yet inside her chest a storm had started. Had she been slowly pulling away too? She remembered nights when she turned over instead of talking, days when she was too busy to notice his smile. Times when she chose tiredness over connection. Daniel's voice came softly behind her. "Emma, I don't want to lose you." She turned and saw his eyes shining with tears. He was trying to hold back. That broke her heart. "I never wanted to lose." "You either?" she whispered. They stood facing each other, years of love between them, yet feeling like something fragile was hanging in the air. Daniel reached for her hand but stopped halfway, unsure. She took it herself. His fingers were warm, familiar, safe. "I didn't know you felt this way," she said. "I didn't know how to say it without hurting you," he replied. Both smiled sadly. For the first time in years, they were not talking about bills, work, or plans. They were talking about feelings, real ones. "I miss you," Daniel said. Those two words hit harder than anything else. Emma's throat tightened. "I miss you too." The sun was almost gone now, the sky turning purple and blue. Daniel squeezed her hand gently. "I just want us back." Emma closed her eyes for a moment, letting the truth sink in. Their love wasn't gone. It was just buried under routine. She opened her eyes and nodded slowly. "We can try," she said. "I want us back too." Relief washed over his face. They sat back down together, closer this time, shoulders touching. The night air felt cooler, but their hearts felt warmer. Yet deep inside, Emma felt something else too: fear. Change meant effort. It meant facing emotions she had ignored. But it also meant hope. As stars slowly appeared above them, she realized something important. That simple question Daniel asked had opened a door to healing. Or a door to truths they weren't ready to face. And she didn't yet know which one it would be. But she knew one thing for sure: their quiet life would never feel the same again. That night, Emma lay awake beside Daniel while the house stayed silent around them. The clock on the wall ticked slowly, each second feeling louder than the last. Daniel had already turned to his side, pretending to sleep, but Emma knew he was awake too. They were not angry words, they were scared ones. In the morning, Daniel left early for work after a short hug that felt unsure. Emma watched his car disappear down the street, her chest tight. The house felt too quiet. Usually she enjoyed the peace, but today it felt empty. She made coffee and sat alone at the kitchen table. At work, Emma couldn't focus. Her thoughts kept drifting back to Daniel's face, the fear in his eyes, the hope behind his words. During lunch, she decided she needed someone to talk to. She called her best friend Claire, who lived in Boston, and asked to meet. They sat in a small cafe near the river, warm cups in their hands while rain tapped softly against the windows. Claire studied Emma's face. "You look like someone just shook your world." "I don't know," she whispered. Claire leaned. Claire asked. Emma thought about the empty mornings, the quiet nights, the way they moved around each other like polite roommates instead of lovers. "Yes," she admitted. Claire reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "Then this is your chance to grow together instead of drifting apart." On the drive home, Emma replayed everything. She realized how often she had chosen comfort over connection. It wasn't that she stopped loving Daniel. She had just stopped showing it. That evening, she found Daniel in the kitchen chopping vegetables. He looked surprised when she hugged him from behind. "Hey," he said softly. "I missed you today," she replied. He froze for a second, then relaxed into her arms. They cooked dinner together, laughing when Daniel almost burned the bread. It felt small, but it felt good. While they ate, Emma took a deep breath. "I talked to Claire." Daniel looked nervous. "Anne," she said, "love fades when people stop choosing each other," Emma said. "I think we stopped choosing without realizing it." He nodded slowly. "I was afraid to say it." "Don't want us to lose what we have," she said. "Neither do I." After dinner, they went for a walk through their neighborhood. The streetlights glowed softly, and the cool air smelled like wet leaves. They walked close, shoulders brushing. "I remember when we used to walk like this every night," Daniel said. "I remember too," Emma said. "We talked about everything. Now we talk about schedules," he said with a sad smile. They both laughed quietly. "Daniel," Emma said, stopping, "I think we need to work on us. Not fix, just care again." His eyes softened. "I was hoping you'd say that." They stood there, hands locked, feeling like the world had slowed. "I don't need grand changes," Daniel said. "I just need you to be here with me." "I am," she said firmly. That night they sat on the couch instead of scrolling on their phones. They talked about their early days, their first apartment, their late-night pizza dinners, their dreams of travel. Emma felt something warm growing in her chest again. But when she went to bed later, doubt quietly returned. What if this closeness faded again? What if effort wasn't enough? Love was not just feelings, it was daily choice. She realized how easy it was to fall back into routine. As she lay beside Daniel, listening to his breathing, she wondered if they could truly change. Old habits. The distance between them had not been built in one day. Could it be healed the same way? Outside, rain began falling harder. tapping against the windows like a soft warning. Emma closed her eyes, hoping they were strong enough to rebuild. What? Time had slowly worn down, 'cause deep in her heart she knew this was only the beginning. And beginnings were both beautiful and fragile. Their love was awake again. But now it would be tested.